everyone, welcome to Botany Insider. So in this particular lecture, I'll be sharing with you all how to solve and approach the experimental questions. I'll be sharing with you all some of the tips. I'll be sharing with you all some of the important steps you need to follow in order to solve the experimental questions. So before starting the video, if you haven't yet joined me on Telegram, do not forget to join over there. Use the link given below in the description box or just search Botany Insider. You'll be able to join. And the second point is, do not forget to subscribe to Botany Insider if you are new to my channel. So this was about it. Now let's get into the video. The one thing you have to remember is that what experimental questions are all about. But before that, you need to remember about one thing. If you understand or if you have a knowledge about the exam pattern of the CSIR, you know we have part A, part B and part C. Talking about the part C, in which we have to do 25 questions out of the 75 questions given, and a major portion of the part C refers to the experimental questions, and many of us find it very difficult or many of us fear with these experimental questions. So I'll be sharing some of the tips which you could use in order to approach these experimental questions. Trust me, these experimental questions are very easy. All you have to have is, you have to have, first thing, a good practice of these type of questions, and second, a good approaching point in order to solve these questions. So let's understand about the same now. So now, before getting into how to approach, we need to understand that what experimental questions are all about. So if we want to give a very generic definition to the experimental questions, so the experimental questions are actually the one in which we are given any hypothetical scenario and we are given some of the points which we have to derive from the same. Now these experimental questions or the scenarios that are given to us either could be based upon the classical experiments, or they might be designed in some way or the other in order to frame a question. So all you have to do is, you have to be very attentive in solving those questions. So we can say that experimental questions are the one in which there is a hypothetical scenario presented to us and the conclusion of any of the following observations are asked to solve. Either the observations are given to us and we have to find out that which observations are correct, or the other way around is, we are given the hypothetical scenario and we have to find out which observation is correct. In the first one, those type of questions are what we call as the statement wise, and the second one are the ones in which we have to find the correct one out of the 4 observations given. So this was about it. Now one thing or very important point to remember is that these types of questions are very easy to solve. I'll be solving one question in front of you in this particular lecture itself, so wait for the same. Now how to approach such question. The very first point is, read the question very carefully. Do not be in a hurry to just quickly read the question. You won't understand it. Reason being, a hypothetical scenario is created and you need to interlink those points given. And the following the same, second point is, try to make a mind map. Mind mapping is very important. In any experimental question, mind map making is very important. What you can do is, first thing is, for making the mind map, read the question at least twice. The first reading should be done in order to understand the question. The second reading should be done in order to make the mind map. How to make it? I'll explain you. Next point is, for reading all the options very nicely. After reading the question twice, read the options as well. Reason being, we have to find out the answer only. We need not to conclude anything else. We have to focus only upon the options given. Following the same, next one is, after you read the questions and the options very nicely, try to make a correlation with the question. Making a correlation and stabilizing that yes, this is the scenario, these are the options given, and which of the following could be correct would be based upon our mind map. So these type of questions are very high scoring, very easy to solve. Mind map helps a lot. What you can do is, give the first reading to the question and then in the second reading make a mind map and then try to solve the question as I have just explained you. So What we'll be doing is, we'll be reading a question, we'll be making a mind map, and then we would be solving the same. So this is the question, this is a previous year question itself. So let's try to solve this question now. So first what we have to do is, we have to just quickly go through the complete question, but in a good manner. That is, let's read the question first. The question says that a study tested the importance of learning mechanisms in the development of anti-predator escape response in the tadpoles of a frog species. Tadpoles hatched from the eggs in the lab were kept individually, either with the predator chemical use, that is the prior exposure, or without the chemical use, that is NAEF, for 1 week. These individuals tested for their escape response when exposed to a live predator. They were tested either alone or together with 3 older experienced tadpoles. The graph below shows the escape response of the test individuals in 4 different treatments. So what is given to us is, this is not a classical experiment. In this question, a hypothetical scenario is created. Question says that a test was done in which the learning mechanism or the importance of learning mechanism was tested. Okay, this is the first information that we have got. After this, what happens is that the development or the importance of the learning mechanism is being tested in the development of the anti-predator escape. That means we are trying to make or trying to understand the learning mechanism, looking into the anti-predator escape responses in the tadpoles of a frog. So we are using the tadpoles of a frog for the same. The tadpoles hatched from the egg in the lab. The tadpoles were hatched in the lab, and then there were 2 separate groups created. The first one were, they were either exposed to the chemical, that is whatever the predator releases the chemical, it was first initially given to them. So first group was the one in which there was a prior exposure, and the second one was in which there was no prior exposure for 1 week, and this particular experiment was completed, or it was tested upon for 1 week. These individuals were tested for the escape response when exposed to a live predator, and then these individuals, after the 2 groups, the first group had the exposure and the second group had no exposure, they were then exposed to a live predator. Now the actual testing is done with the live predator. They were tested either alone or together with 3 older experienced tadpole. That is, the first testing was done alone and the second was done with the 3 older experienced. Remember about this word, that is experienced tadpole. The graph below shows the escape response of the test individual. So this particular graph shows the result of the response, and what we have to do is, there were 5 inferences given and we have to find out that which of the following is correct. The first one is that the prior exposure to the predator is necessary for the development of the escape response. So let's first try to understand the graph. So first, here we have the on the y-axis as the escape response, and on the x-axis we have the different groups of the frogs. The first one was the NAEF, and then we have the prior exposure. So they were tested alone, that is the first group in which there was no prior exposure was tested alone, and then the second group which had a exposure was also tested alone. So the prior exposure one shows a higher response, and the ones in which there was no prior exposure, very less or very little response was shown. In the second case, when they were tested with the 3 other older tadpoles, both of them showed a higher response. So from this, one thing could be derived, and that is the experience of the tadpole is leading to the increase in the response. So in the first case, when the prior exposure was there was high response, and in the second one which had no prior exposure but they were tested with the experienced tadpole, they also showed a higher response. So now let's understand the observations and get the answer. The first one is prior exposure of to the predator use is necessary for the development of the escape response. So let's keep it. This might be a correct option. Second one is prior exposure to the predator use positively influence the development of the escape response. Yes, this is a correct statement. Why? You can see prior exposure is leading to a positive result in both of the cases. So B is a correct statement for sure. And following the same, try to just eliminate the options in which B option is not there. So in the first one, in the second one, and in the fourth one, we do not have the option B. Hence, we can see just with one option we got the correct answer as option B, that is B and D statement are correct. But we will continue with the other statements for having a better understanding. The third one is that the presence of the older experienced individual is necessary for the development. This is incorrect. Reason being prior exposure also helped in the development of the response. So C statement is incorrect. Fourth one is the presence of the older experienced individuals positively influences the development. Yes, this one is correct. It is not a necessity, but it positively influenced the development. So B and D options are correct. Fifth option is an individual with the prior exposure and with the older experienced individual showed the strongest escape response. This is a correct statement, but if you look into the second graph, that is this graph, you can see both the naive and both the prior exposure one when tested with the experienced one showed a almost similar response. So E statement is incorrect. We have C statement as incorrect and B and D statements are correct. So we have got the answer as option B, that is B and D options are correct. If you look into the first option which says that prior exposure to the predator is necessary for the development, this is a correct statement, but you can see in the first option as the when we have naive which did not had any prior exposure, but they showed a experience after the experienced tadpoles were added to this particular group, you can see an increase in the response. Hence option A is completely incorrect. So we have the correct answer as option B, that is B and D are correct. If you eliminate option A in the first step itself, you can see you can easily eliminate 3 of them and get the final answer as option B. You can see in these type of question you did not require any prior knowledge. You can easily just read the question, get the inferences done and observe and conclude and get the final answer. So these type of questions are very easy. I have tried to solve one question for you all. I hope this question is clear to you. Making a mind map. What is making a mind map? So there was no space on the screen, that is the reason why I have made it just explained you. But what you can do is you can just note down all the points. That is, first thing you can note down in your copy is that the importance of learning mechanism. Do not waste your time, but try to write down at least the important information so that you do not have to read the complete question again and again. So I hope this question was clear to you and you have understood that how to approach these type of questions. So if you like this video and if you want me to make many more such videos, do let me know in the comment sections below. I'll be uploading, or after your request I might help you in approaching many types of questions as given in the CSIR, but you have to let me know in the comment sections. So thank you so much everyone for watching this video. If you like this video, do let me know in the comment sections below, and also do not forget to like, share and subscribe to Botany Insider. I'll see you very soon with more videos. So thank you so much everyone for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye.